I reconnected with my ex, and now I'm questioning everything.
What is the meaning of all of this?
They're an ex for a reason. My name is Richard, 26 male. My wife's name is Barbara, 26 female. My ex's name is Corey, 24 female. And her husband, who probably won't show up in the story, but just in case, is Bruce, 24 male, I think. If you get the naming scheme, sorry. I'm a big nerd sometimes, and names are hard. By the way, this comes from user hopelesslyinlove0321, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. My name's Keon.
And I'm Angie.
And Opie says, my ex, Corey, and I started dating in middle school. We didn't actually go out and stuff, but we were together. I don't know. Middle school relationships are very weird. So, at the very least, we have a very extensive history. We broke up and got back together maybe 3 times before we really started dating when I was a junior and she was a sophomore. Originally, she was dating a girl, but she wasn't happy with her, and I convinced her to go back out with me. P.S. I already know I'm not a good person, and this is not the last time you will see me do something awful. All right. Okay. At least you're aware. I'm older and trying to be more mature about things, but I still make mistakes and do my best to make up for them. Eventually, we had spicy sleep for the first time, making Corey my first everything. Then we found out she was pregnant.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I had already decided I was going into the military.
Oh, no.
At one point, my buddy at the recruiting station told me that if I signed the baby's birth certificate, I would be held back from going to boot camp and would be forced to wait another year before going. I did not want this. I was about to have a daughter, and I needed money to support them. The military was the only way to get that. Other than trade school, I didn't know then what I know now. Fast forward 8 months, I get my final shipping date, and I let my ex know. At the time, I believe she was okay with me going. I let her find out she felt abandoned. Some things I can't take back that I would now, I guess. The next month, my daughter, Robin, now 6 female, is born. I stayed at my ex's house to help take care of Robin. At the time, we were kind of not together because we broke up, then got together, then I cheated. Long story, maybe another time.
Dang, man.
All right, again, you did give us the forewarning that
Right.
you are kind of not a good person.
Yeah.
The next month, I ship out and go through boot camp, writing letters home to family and my ex. At this point, our relationship was kind of together/not together, on and off. Figure it out. Just yes or no. There's no
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
At this point in your life, you should be no, we're done, or
Right.
yes, we're together. Come boot camp graduation, she comes to see me with our daughter and my parents, and we have a good time together. I get to go home and spend time with her before I go back to do job training. We spent most of the 10 days together before I go do my job training. While doing job training, I am texting whenever I can to give her updates and ask about the baby. She was healthy and fine, and that made me the happiest. Also, during this time, I'm also talking to another girl who isn't important, so I won't name her.
I
So
don't
why
know.
the heck are you
Yeah.
OP?
I don't know. She sounds pretty important here.
I'm
OP.
struggling to really be on your side right now because
Yeah.
okay. My ex finds out and we break up for the first time while I was in the military. I finished job school. I get my first duty station in the middle of nowhere. Again, to be anonymous, I cannot say it. During this time, I would go home for my daughter's birthday whenever I could, and we would start things up again. Partially. It was mainly for spicy sleep. Bad. This is bad. This is all bad.
OP.
I'm not sure if that's how it was for sure, but after I would leave, we would fight, then break up again. This would go on for a while until I come home after breaking up/hooking up. I decide this isn't healthy for me. I decided I wanted to move on, so I downloaded Tinder and eventually met my wife, Barbara. We went on a couple dates. I was very happy and posting about our dates. Very seriously, not thinking about if my ex saw them. Well, she did, and she was not happy. We got into a huge argument, which ended with her giving me an ultimatum. Choose her and try to fix what we had and be in my daughter's life, or choose my wife, girlfriend at the time. After being tired of the toxic relationship we had, I decided I wanted to give my relationship with my girlfriend my attention. Something I wonder if I regret now.
OP, you can't say that. I was reading this and thinking okay, first of all, thought it was already over between, the OGX and NOP. Apparently not. Okay, maybe it's good that we're working on the relationship with the girlfriend. I feel like this could go in a good direction. Maybe this is what makes him turn around, but then he just hits us with it. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't know. I have a really hard time organizing my thoughts and feelings. After the choice was made, we decided to go our separate ways for almost 4 years.
Whoa.
My wife and I get married. We have a kid, get a house, and we're trying to get by. We've had some rough times, mainly me. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I have cheated on her multiple times.
Great. Sure.
And her, being the patient saint she is, gave me multiple chances until she gave me the last one, which I have not broken. I have stayed faithful, wrong, and really worked on myself to be a good partner and father to my son, Damien, now 3 male. I think you like Batman. You said you were nerdy. Barbara, Bruce. Oh, I know you, OP. Now, I'm back home trying to find a job since I'm out of the military, and I try to make contact with my ex so I can see my daughter. I've slightly kept up with her through cyber stalking, where she works. She got married, which honestly broke my heart, but who I am to say that since I got married first. She looked very well and healthy and still amazing. Initially, the contact did not go well, but recently we decided to meet and talk about being able to be in my daughter's life. We meet alone at a cafe, and we walked in. Dang, she looked great. Hey, you have a wife.
You have a wife. You've been doing so well, apparently, recently, for being faithful. This is probably what should also be thought about. You should you should stop yourself from having these thoughts before you cheat on your wife again.
My heart skipped a beat. My stomach was in knots, and everything that I felt for her came rushing back. You suck.
Yeah.
You genuinely suck.
Yeah.
She berated me for contacting her and told me how she successfully raised our daughter. She did amazingly, might I add, with no help from me because you suck.
Yeah, obviously.
That girl is doing great things, and it made me so happy to see her in pictures. The whole conversation, I stayed civil. That was my purpose. I wanted to stay civil and be friendly so I can see my daughter and hopefully develop a relationship with her. But the whole time talking to Corey, I just could not stop thinking about, what if this and what if that? What if I chose to stay with her and raise my daughter? Then my beautiful son wouldn't have been born, and my wife and I would not have the relationship we have now. Even now, a week later, I'm still thinking about her. We text on the phone, but I think that's just to build a friendship so that we can be comfortable around each other and my daughter. Maybe I'm just overthinking things, but I cannot get Corey out of my head. I still love her, and I don't know what to do. I do know what you should do. You should listen to full episodes with stories just like this one by going to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or whatever that is, and search up OK Storytime.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit left. I don't like OP. I don't like OP.
Sometimes I guess you can have feelings that you can't be in control of.
It's love. There is
Sure.
a love there,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a different kind of love. Like I can love from afar.
Right. Like yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like if you notice your feelings, you should make a decision on what you want to freaking do instead of just like toying with these girls. You should, think like, oh, okay, well, I have a wife right now. I should be loyal to her. So even though I am feeling these feelings, I'm going to notice that and try to put a stop to it.
Those feelings down.
Exactly.
Bad boy.
Exactly.
We've been through this way too many times.
Right. And also, too, it's just like, I feel like a good way to look at if you want to get back into a relationship is think about what it would be like for them. Yeah, you would want them. They seem like great people. Both of these women seem like great people. But, like, you clearly have not been great to them. So I feel like you should think about that and be like, yeah, no, they don't deserve to be in a relationship with me. You know?
Exactly. OP, what I'm getting from this is you're really selfish.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, and you don't get any consequences for what you like. I can cheat on her. Nothing's bad's gonna happen.
No.
Oh, I made my decision to leave my ex-wife
Yeah.
and my daughter to have another life, but now I think I want that back.
Yeah, dude needs to go to therapy and see like what he thinks is missing in his relationship and see what he's looking for. Because if he does make the switch and goes back to the first ex,
Right.
it's like then eventually he's just gonna be like, oh well, what if this? What if that? It's like no, make a decision and stick to it, or just be single. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, let's get to this story. I told my wife. I figured I shouldn't hide things from her, and she deserved to know. She's
Okay.
given me time to think, and the thought has crossed my mind to leave her. She said if I did leave, it would be mutual and no bad blood. I could see my son whenever. I can see my son whenever I want and call to see him and try to be friends with her. My question is, Reddit, what do I do? Can someone help me organize my thoughts? I know I'm not a good person, so please don't mention it. I know. You are. I called myself everything that some of you probably haven't even thought of. I'm just asking for advice. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. P.S. My wife is not here at home with me. She's tying up some loose ends at our house before we move. May there have some comments. Angie, before we get the comments, yes, I want to give you advice, but you don't deserve any of this.
I think, dude.
That's where I'm coming at. You don't deserve for hurting these kids and these women in your life.
Yeah.
You don't deserve the happiness. I mean, yes, everyone deserves happiness, but you've had so many freaking chances.
Yeah.
Time and time again, not from your new wife, but also your ex-wife.
Right.
You don't deserve any of this.
Yeah.
And we just have some comments that really just call you out. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, comment 1 is literally, what the F is wrong with you? Comment 2, yikes. Honestly, you sound like a really crappy human, buddy. The tone of this whole post is almost like pleading for help, like none of this is in your control.
Yeah.
You honestly need to let your wife go. She deserves better than some wishy-washy excuse of a baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
She deserves a man who's going to want her and care for her and not hurt her. You don't want your ex. You were just a commitment phobe looking for a way to justify yet again wanting to step out on your wife. Comment 3. It's shocking how you abandoned your daughter and cheated on your current wife multiple times, and now you're considering cheating on her again. Grow up and let your wife go. She deserves better. They all deserve better.
Yeah.
Comment 4. What do? You bury these feelings for your ex deep until they disappear and stay faithful to your wife. Or get divorce papers today. What we don't do is waffle back and forth on your commitments because you feel giddy like a teenager again. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes. You know what? You leave your wife. Be single.
Yeah.
You don't deserve any. I'm sorry, OP.
Yeah.
I can't feel bad for you.
Right. It's like if you feel like a bad person, you know, you have the chance to turn around. You have
an addiction. You have an addiction to something on you like. I feel like you just love doing this.
Right. Like, you know, just because you're a bad person right now doesn't mean that eventually if you get better and stuff, you don't deserve like a good relationship. Like you do. You can get there. But think about what these women deserve, dude. You know you're a bad person right now. You know you've messed
literally
up so
call
many
yourself
times.
out. I'm a
Yes.
bad person. I know.
So-
I've called everything in the book.
Right.
But like, I still want to keep doing this to be a
Exactly.
bad person.
So if you actually love both of these women, stay away from both of them. All right? Please. My husband is being neglectful and I'm starting to hate him for it.
Maybe it's time for divorce.
Things came to a head this year at the birthday party I threw him when his sister got wasted, sat on his lap, and I ended up having to take her home because she was too wasted to be alone. Starting off strong.
Starting off 100 miles per hour. I love it.
Yeah. I was really angry and hurt because I spent months planning the party and was hoping it could be a reset for our marriage after a rough few years. He told me that he was upset about how his sister treated me and he would talk to her about her behavior and boundaries when he was less angry. By the way, this comes from Living Fun 8970, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Keon.
And OP says that conversation never happened, and he's acting like everything should be fine and I should just move on. But I can't. It's not just how she behaved at the party, but years and years of her treating my husband like her spouse and him prioritizing her and her feelings over me. I feel sad and trapped in this marriage, but I cannot leave him because I pay for the care of a very sick family member and it costs me tens of thousands of dollars per year. I make good money, but I take a huge hit with paying for care, and having grown up poor, I really do value financial security. We also have a child together, and I get so scared that they'll turn out like my sister-in-law if I cannot be with them all the time. To make it worse, his friends don't know what I've put up with for years, so they think that my reaction to his sister ruining the party was over the top and my husband hasn't done anything to correct them because that would require him prioritizing my feelings over his sister. I just resent him so much and I'm scared I'm starting to hate him. I don't want to be alone with him. I don't want to be affectionate with him. I don't even like the sound of his voice. I'm in therapy to deal with my marriage not turning out to be what I wanted and to find happiness with myself while feeling trapped. But God, I can't stand him. I've started leaving the room when he enters or just looking at my phone to avoid any interaction. He will ask me if I'm mad at him or what's wrong, and I will lie and say nothing because there's no point in having the same conversation with no change for the millionth time. He refuses to go to couples counseling. Not that it will help because he doesn't believe in therapy. I look at him and I don't see a great man I married. I see an empty husk. This all started when we moved back to his hometown, and it feels almost like Arrested Development. I don't even know why I'm posting. Probably just to vent because I was looking at him this morning and I was just overwhelmed by how much I hate who he has become. And when I realized maybe this is who he always was and he was able to hide it when we lived in another city. I just feel sad, alone, and trapped. Advice? And there is an update, but oh boy.
I mean, I was going to say, oh, you can do therapy, couples therapy, anything.
Right.
Or talk to him. Seems like you've done all of it, OP.
Yeah.
There's only one logical answer to do here. The fact that you hate the sound of his voice.
I know.
Oh, yeah, oh, his voice.
And you just like can't stand looking at him or being
Nails
in
to
the
a
same
chalkboard.
room.
Angie.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time.
Divorce.
If that's the only reason you're staying is so that the kids
Yeah.
possibly don't turn out like his sister. I mean, one, that's kind of a risk anyway,
Yeah.
if she's being this overbearing and this close and
Mhm.
stuff. And two, I mean, you know, it's not a good enough reason to put up with all of this for that
Yeah.
slight chance.
Agreed.
I posted a couple months ago about how I think I hate my husband due to issues we've had in our marriage for years, including his mental health, and substance use struggles and his sister. After reading the comments, I spoke with a divorce lawyer and started making a plan to leave him when I had enough money saved up, probably sometime next year. I forgot that's also a big reason why she's staying is for financial reasons.
Good. You're doing the right things right now.
Yes. Then our son's birthday happened. We had a great party, but when we got home, we were exhausted. I got frustrated when I saw I had another mess to clean after I spent most of the morning before the party cleaning our house because it was a mess. My husband came upstairs and was immediately angry and told me that I ruined our son's birthday with my outburst. I just walked away and didn't speak to him for the rest of the day. The next morning, while I was getting ready for court and to take our son to school, he demanded I explain why I'm mad at him. I told him telling me I ruined our son's birthday because I expressed frustration at having to clean again when I was exhausted was unnecessary. Oh wow, so that's it? She just got home and was like, "Oh my god, it's so messy."
You didn't even ask your wife if you can help to clean.
Yeah, or just do it.
Or
like
just do it.
It's your house too.
Yeah,
That's
I can see why you don't like him.
Yeah. He then went off and told me how difficult I am and how he's tired of living like this and he's done with this. I told him if he wants to divorce, then do it. I then left with our son to take him to school and I could go to work. Unfortunately, my husband called in sick and I knew I would be stuck dealing with him when I would get back. When I returned, I sat him down and told him that I was done with the way he treated me. I told him he thinks he's not mean because he doesn't yell all the time, but the way he handles conflicts with his sister and never sticks up for me, the fact that he can just casually say that I ruined my son's birthday and not get why I would be upset with him for that, the fact that he's never taken into consideration everything he's put me through with his mental health and substance use issues when I was the only one who supported him and made him get treatment, the fact that he's never been honest with his friends about his issues and is allowing at least one of them to think that I have a substance issue because I was angry with his sister about her behavior on his birthday. And the fact that he thinks that telling me I'm difficult and he's just done is all mean. Wow. I told him I don't deserve to be treated this way, and if he wants a divorce, I'm fine with it. I told him I will no longer tolerate how he treats me. I will no longer tolerate his sister and their gross enmeshed relationship, and I will no longer tolerate him allowing his friends to think poorly of me to protect himself and his sister. I told him I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than continue living with someone who treats me like he does, and if he's going to divorce me, to do it now instead of 20 years from now so I can have my life back. He got really quiet, and I locked myself in the office to work. A few minutes later, he knocked and asked to talk. He was crying and told me he was sorry. He was sorry for what he said the day before and that day, about his sister and him not standing up for me, about letting his friends think I have substance use issues when it's him and his sister. He asked me if I really meant it when I said that I would rather be alone for the rest of my life than be with him, and I said yes. He then started crying harder and said he doesn't want to divorce me. I told him threatening divorce because he's mad is unacceptable, and if he feels that way, he needs to be more serious about his therapy. talked to his sister about her behavior with me present, and set the record straight with his friends about what's been really going on. He said he would do all of those things. We talked to his sister before Thanksgiving, and she is terrified of me now. She wouldn't even be in the same room as me, and I barely talked to her. I made him put the call on speaker when he talked to his friends about what happened. I'm also sitting in on his next therapy session to tell his therapist what happened. I'm still protecting myself by moving forward with saving money and making a contingency plan with my attorney in case this change isn't permanent. I've told him the moment anything goes back to how it was, I'm leaving and I will file for divorce. He's been so nice to me lately and is actually being supportive for the first time in years. I'm still very wary this is permanent and am prepared to leave if needed. I honestly love that his sister is terrified of me because for the first time, she's not acting like a jealous wife. A couple of his friends reached out to me privately and told me that they wished that they had known about his struggles so they could have supported me and expressed the same concerns about how his sister behaves around my husband. That was validating. I'm not talking to the friend who accused me of having a drinking problem and told my husband that I need distance from her because what she said was humiliating for me. And I hope you never distance yourself from us because we've got full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to the story. I'm just going to jump right into it.
I think we already said our due diligence.
Hopefully this is permanent and he makes real lasting change. I hope him hearing that I would rather be alone than be with him made him understand how horrible he has been. I hope I can finally find happiness either in this marriage or out of it. I also want to thank everyone who provided such kind words and sage advice. I don't think I would have taken the steps to protect myself or found the courage to tell him how I really feel if it hadn't been for you. I never would have thought I would realize I don't deserve that treatment if it hadn't been for this subreddit. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And that is the end of that story.
All right.
Dang. Yeah.
Things are going in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Tread carefully.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he just makes one wrong move or, goes back to his old ways, you know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you for at least noticing these things. That in itself is a big task. So good job for noticing what's wrong, noticing how you should not be treated, and not standing for it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Do you hate him now? I mean, and again, the fact that you're it's I dislike him. It's I hate his voice. I hate him.
Literally.
It's crazy. It's crazy got to that point.
Yeah. I feel like she's maybe giving him another shot, but if that feeling doesn't really go away.
This is the final shot.
Don't try to convince yourself to shove that feeling away.
Yeah.
If you're going to.
Yeah.
My wife confessed to an emotional affair and then it became physical.
You were so close with being able to get away with it.
Just maybe a little bit. My wife, Annie, asked for some time to talk. We have 2 little girls, 3 and 5, and she arranged a sleepover for them with her sister. This seemed off to me since she's vehemently against sleepovers and has never agreed to one before. She sat me down and admitted to having an emotional affair with a coworker for about half a year that had now become physical.
She's like, I needed the kids out of the house for this one.
Oof.
Yikes.
By the way, this comes from user throwaway red, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
So, she wasn't crying when she told me. She works as a corporate auditor for a large company and is skilled at networking, so I never questioned the numerous texts and calls she'd get during off hours. I asked how it started. Mark was a new hire, similar in age and also married, so she felt safe hanging out with him. Their conversations began around work and shared interests. She said they became really good friends over their shared love of tennis. Tennis ruins another marriage.
No.
The classic. I knew she went every Saturday to the local tennis club, but she never told me it was with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
She'd always say it was just some people from work. Mark's name never came up even when he first started, despite me knowing the people she was close with at work. I had met him at her office Christmas party, but he'd said hi and stayed away. I assumed they weren't close. I asked her to tell me everything, every lie she'd ever said regarding Mark. A couple months ago, her company arranged a team getaway, and she told me partners weren't allowed. That was a lie. Her work friends go to the pub every Friday, and when I asked about joining sometimes, she said it would be awkward since no other significant others come. Also a lie. She and Mark went on pseudo double dates with her work friends, and she always told them I was too busy when they invited me. Most of her lies involved keeping me from seeing her and Mark interact. She said she didn't even know why she was doing it initially, but just wanted to keep us separated. I asked how it became physical. She said last Friday, after the pub, she'd gotten tipsy and went to the smoking area with Mark. They were talking about Mark's marriage and how he wasn't happy. She hugged him. He kissed her. When I asked if she kissed him back, she said she didn't push him away the way she should have. Just say you kissed him back.
I just stood there, and it's like in Romeo and Juliet. I just stood there, and he just kissed me. I didn't do anything about it.
My arms turned into little noodles. I had no
Yeah.
power. Oh,
Yeah.
no. She said she left after that and immediately came home. I remember how quiet she was last Friday. I assumed it was the end of week stress and let her have time to herself while I put the girls to bed. She said she was telling me now because she'd realized she'd started an emotional affair and knew the only way not to lose me was to come clean. She admitted that initially she just liked that an attractive man was giving her attention and used it as a confidence booster. Ouchie. Owie.
Dang. What? So does that mean that OP isn't attractive?
Yeah, exactly. Oof. Oof. I slept on the sofa that night. The next morning, I needed more answers. We went out for breakfast, and I asked if she loved Mark. She immediately said no, that she'd just gotten caught up in receiving attention from the wrong place. She couldn't imagine losing our family and didn't expect me to forgive her, but needed to tell me about the kiss. I told her I didn't know if I could trust her anymore after all the lying. She started crying, saying she would do anything to fix it. If I asked her to quit her job, she would. She showed me her phone. She had deleted and blocked his number and would now only communicate through a monitored company app. I asked for space and moved into the guest room while we figured out what to do next. She keeps talking about couples therapy and how she'd hate herself if her actions caused our daughters to lose their parents. She grew up in a broken home with a barely there dad and doesn't want the same for our children. I told her I'd never abandon my kids even if we do split up. I talked to my older brothers about this, and they said I should try for my daughter's sake, but also make her quit her job. I know how long she's worked to be promoted into her position, but I can't tolerate him being around her. Since we've been sleeping separately, she's been sending me good morning letters that she makes my 5-year-old bring to me. Manipulative. Manipulative.
Yeah, dude.
My daughter enjoys being a carrier pigeon and knocks on my door with a hoot hoot.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh. So my mornings haven't been that bad. We've been cordial and focused on making sure our daughters don't have any disruption. She made coffee the other day and told me she loved me when she handed it over, but I couldn't bring myself to say it back. I haven't kissed or touched her in a week. And there is an update. But like, I guess I would believe that it was just that one kiss, right?
Yeah.
Because of how she acted that one Friday.
Right.
Maybe it's salvageable if you just I don't know, but y'all are going to need guidance.
Yeah, I think definitely going to some sort of couples counseling, because I mean, people have done it, people have worked through cheating in their marriage. And, I feel like if you're not either a couples counselor or have gone to couples counseling, it's very hard to see how you could even move on from that. So maybe a counselor would just show them how it would look and if that's something that they would want.
Yeah. We stayed in limbo longer than we should have, both waiting to get a chance to talk about it more. My wife worked from home the whole week, then decided to take her saved annual leave. I did not ask her to do this, but she felt uncomfortable going to work. I told her not to do it for me, but she insisted. I made sure to spend time with friends and my brothers. My kids didn't really notice anything different apart from my eldest asking why Mama and Papa weren't in the same room anymore when she got up to come to us in the middle of the night. I explained that I wanted to be closer to her since the guest bedroom was closer to her room, and she even slept with me in the guest room a couple times.
Aww.
A couple days after my post, we finally put the girls to bed, and I felt ready to talk. We sat at the dining room table, and I asked her to hand over her phone so I could read the messages. They mostly communicated on WhatsApp, and it wasn't hard to retrieve the chat since she backed up messages consistently. She handed over her phone without protest, but kept saying she could tell me what was in the messages instead. I don't think she knew I knew how to restore them. I asked her to sit with me while I read in case I needed context. I read through them all, especially around the time of the work trip. There were very suggestive things, he said, that she let him get away with or entertained. He had a quote-unquote favorite top of hers that he complimented every time she wore it, and when I asked if she wore it more regularly for him, she said the thought crossed her mind when getting dressed. There were long texts from him about how beautiful she was and how he wished he'd met her when they were both younger. She never shut him down. She almost reciprocated without fully committing. She and Mark had gone dancing with coworkers, and he told her how schmexy she looked that night. She told him how I didn't say things like that to her anymore. They'd go weeks just surface-level texting, and then suddenly there would be a thread from the middle of the night where either one was venting about their feelings. Annie would complain about how exhausted she was from being a mother and wife and how she needed a break from everything. If we ever got into a fight, she'd tell him how she wasn't sure if I loved her anymore and was only with her because of the kids.
If it was venting about anything else other than the relationship, maybe it would have been fine. Maybe it's like, okay, yeah, they're just friends. But you do not, if you were having an emotional affair with someone or like having this flirtatious energy with someone, you do not tell them about your relationship problems.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild to be like, oh, my husband, I don't know if he even loves me. It's like, it's a conversation you have with your husband.
Right.
Being like, I feel just really overwhelmed as a wife and a mother, and I'm not even sure why you're in it. Can we talk about this?
Exactly.
Instead of just going to Mark.
It's just setting him up like perfectly to just be like, oh, well, I can fix that for you.
I can fix that.
Yeah. It's like, dude.
I can fix that.
Come on.
Come on, man. She sat there while I read everything and answered my questions when I asked for context. When I was done, I asked her again if she'd slept with him. If she had, she needed to tell me now. She promised on our children's lives that she hadn't done anything more than kiss. I asked if she'd done anything else inappropriate, and she admitted that on the work trip they'd gone out, got a little wasted, and she sat on his lap while he told her he wanted to F her. She said they were both wasted, so she let it go, and he claimed he didn't remember saying it the next morning. When I asked if she'd been tempted, she said she had, but knew she wouldn't be able to hide it from me if she did it, and that she loved me and knew she'd lose our family if she slept with him. She told me she had gone to therapy, her first time, and said I should do the same. I asked if she'd told her family, and she said she'd spoken to her sister about it. They got into a fight, and her sister told their mom. Her family is not defending her actions. My mother-in-law came to see me and apologized for her daughter's actions while telling me to give her another chance. She'd gone through what I was going through, except her husband actually slept with multiple women and then ditched his whole family. But by the way, we will never ditch you, because you can listen to full episodes of stories like this on Spotify or iHeart or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and you've got over 70 days worth of stories to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a whole lot.
But I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
Second chance? I mean, I'm probably going to have to if it's me, I probably have to separate for a while.
Yeah, I probably would too. 'Cause I'm just really bad at hiding my emotions, I think, when it comes to problems like these. It's like if this happened to me and I was like, I had to just like pretend like everything was fine and just like move on with it, I could not do that at all.
Yeah, I think you can maybe, I mean, clearly if you want to try to make this work, it's going to take more than just separation. It would take that and then counseling.
Right.
But I think doing that and then, coming up with some reason for the kids as to why that's happening, being like, oh, it's for, work or blah, blah, blah. And it's like having, a short-term lease on an apartment somewhere for a couple months maybe. And like just being able to feel what that feels like. And if you really are like, I miss my family more than I'm upset about what she did.
Right.
Then that's your call to make.
Yeah.
But there's no way I could just pretend like everything's fine while we try to work it out.
Absolutely. For sure.
Okay. Annie has a few more days left on her annual leave and decided to hand in her notice when she goes back.
Oh, wow.
So Annie's getting a different job. which is I think would also have to happen if we were going to stay together.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
I'm still sleeping in the guest bedroom, still struggling with being physical with her. If she reaches for me or kisses my cheek, I don't deny it anymore. I'm quick to snap at people around me. My wife is taking the brunt of it, but it's the same at work, too. My drinking has increased. After Annie made a comment on it, I said something along the lines of, well, can you blame me? And she left the room in tears. My brother
Dang.
said it would hurt less with time and that we needed to actively work on building a new relationship. She's still trying. She's almost too agreeable with me to the point where it's annoying, like compensating. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that.
For sure.
I almost want us to scream at each other so we can move on from this weird, polite relationship we've got right now. And that's the end of that story. Couples therapy, my guy.
Yeah.
Y'all should go together.
Yeah, I think he just definitely needs therapy for himself too, just individual for him, because I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, turning to drinking is not a good way to cope with things, so hopefully therapy can help you like find some good coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms with all of this. But yeah, that is very, very tough.
Completely unsustainable, the drinking cope mechanism.
Yes.
And
Will
really
make
any
things worse.
substance use to
Any
cope.
of that. Yep.
Not great.
No.
No.
Yeah.